I think it's working. I can feel the pain just exiting my body. How long has it been?
43 seconds.
Well, that's enough for today. We'll go back to the Tylenol, Aleve, and Advil solution tomorrow just to tease out that placebo effect. Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another week of How to Health. My name is Kevin. I run liftandbalance.com, where we take aim at all things health and do it in an odd, weird, interesting, and highly sarcastic manner. Today, we are talking about why I refuse to be a shoebie and why you should consider it too. And if you didn't grow up watching the legendary Nickelodeon show Rocket Power, a shoebie is a slang term for someone who wears their shoes at the beach. But in the context of today's powwow, we're going to talk about why you shouldn't be a shoebie in general and how strategically getting connected to the earth for 30 to 40 minutes a day can have some pretty profound health effects. This practice is known as grounding, sometimes referred to as earthing. And after reviewing the data of how it may be able to fight against longevity liability, number one, chronic inflammation, it's something that I'm personally doubling down on. And we'll talk about how exactly at the end of the video. So in the next 14 minutes and 82 seconds, we'll walk through what the hell grounding is, the science behind why you want to keep your feet connected to Mother Earth, the human research to date, and how the hell you can add this to your everyday longevity routine. You know, that routine you've been slowly and sustainably developing as you pick up new and exciting tips each and every week on this channel. Yeah, that one. Production team has been keeping tabs on you. But before we step in, or down, there's something we have to do first, together. All right, let's go, everyone. Shoes off, give those toes some much needed fresh air. You too, production team. What's that? Oh. No, it's not that bad. What the hell is grounding? Grounding is simply any activity or technique that involves electrically reconnecting to the earth. In most cases, it involves direct contact with Mother Earth, and is a way to neutralize your body's electrical charge, normalizing and supporting your cells and organ systems in a way that few, if any, modern medications could ever dream of. And here's why this matters. We humans are essentially big electrical circuits, with a lot of our cellular communication dependent on an ongoing transfer of electrical charges. While the Earth, this big floating rock, rotating and doing its thing, possesses essentially a limitless and continuously renewed supply of free electrons, its surface being electrically conductive with a negative potential. I mean, it only makes sense that these two electrical forces have an innate connection that may be, somewhat critical for human health. And over the years, the evidence has mounted, suggesting that the Earth's negative potential can stabilize us humans' internal bioelectrical environment, supporting the optimal function of all of our body systems. And guess what we humans have been doing for the last century or so? Really, the last 50 years. Roaming the earth with our rubber soles, cell phone in hand, asking Mother Earth if she can hear us now.
Can you hear me now?
I'll answer that one for you. She can't. And this literal loss of connection over the past 100 years has many experts turning their heads and removing their socks. Think about it. For the majority of human history, we walked barefoot or with footwear made from something like animal skins. We slept on the ground or close to it, constantly connected to the earth with its abundant source of free electrons, entering and neutralizing our electrically conductive bodies at all hours of the day. This allowed every part of our body to equilibrate with the electrical potential of the earth, thereby stabilizing the electrical environment of our organs, tissue, and cells. And if we fast forward to present day, you'll see things have changed a little bit. Modern living and lifestyle has increasingly separated humans from the primordial flows of the Earth's electrons. we are continuously and unknowingly insulating our bodies from the earth, blocking this connection everywhere, from the modern home and office to walking around on the rubber molded soles that you can find on almost every piece of footwear. And who could forget the ungrounded luxury beds we spend 1/3 of our life in for the oh so critical rebuild, regenerate, detoxify part of our day. The facts of the matter are, the modern person in this modern world spend the majority of their time disconnected from the earth. And here's why this may be a problem, a potentially big problem. Why we want to stay grounded. Let's revisit longevity liability number 1. Low dose chronic inflammation, or the continuous upregulation of our immune system. I know, we talk about this to some extent in every longevity video, but that should tell you something, that it's important. And the exact reason I refer to it continuously as longevity liability numero uno. It has ties to essentially every single chronic disease state plaguing modern society, being shown to accelerate basically anything nefarious happening at the cellular and metabolic level, including the diseases of aging and the aging process itself, coining it the clever name in the longevity community as inflammation. And as we discussed in previous videos, inflammation is an essential part of human existence. It provides a laundry list of benefits as well as harms. What matters when discussing inflammation is the context in which it's acting. And continuous upregulation of the immune system has shown to be bad for biological business. However, emerging evidence shows that contact with the earth may be a simple, natural, yet profoundly effective strategy for treating conditions such as chronic stress, nervous system dysfunction, chronic pain, poor sleep, disrupted heart rate variability, poor blood flow, and chronic inflammation. And if you don't believe me, here's one example of how grounding is thought to work its magic. It's free magic, might I add. Our cells are constantly undergoing reactions. That's essentially how we survive. It's mandatory for biological business. One of the results of this cellular activity is the formation of something called reactive oxygen species, otherwise known as ROS. This is a key byproduct involved in the body's immune and inflammatory response. And being the survival machines that we are, we have natural defenses that neutralize these potentially dangerous ROS, such as antioxidants. But if ROS production increases due to less than optimal lifestyle and environmental conditions, and our antioxidant defense systems are overwhelmed, we have a little bit of trouble on our hands. This results in the overstimulation of the immune system and a constant state of inflammation. Yikes. But guess what? All hope is not lost. The best way to deal with something like ROS is by neutralizing them with a free electron. An electron donated from an antioxidant molecule. And here's where the grounding effect comes into play. It is assumed that the influx of free electrons absorbed by the body through direct contact through the earth likely neutralizes ROS and thereby reduces both acute and chronic inflammation. Whoa. You wanna take the rest of the video outside? Production team? Hell, I might now. And while you're doing that, let's take a look at some research. Grounding's links to health. The research to date supports the idea that grounding, or earthing, the human body may be an essential piece to the health puzzle. Right there alongside sleep, sunlight, fresh air and water, nutrient-dense food, and physical activity. So let's look at a few of the notable, interesting studies. First, its effect on sleep and chronic pain. One study randomly divided 60 subjects who suffered from self-described sleep disturbances and chronic muscle or joint pain into two groups. Both groups slept on special mattress pads. However, only one group was connected to a dedicated Earth's ground outside their bedroom, while the other half acted as the control and were sham grounded, not connected to the earth, how the majority of people presently sleep. As you can see from the results, improvements were clearly observed in the grounded group and absent from the control. But what about its real-life effects on the longevity liability we talked about earlier? Chronic inflammation. One study that monitored post-workout pain and inflammation in participants who slept grounded confirmed grounding as the first intervention known to speed recovery from DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness, which is a common inflammatory condition from working out. And if you've ever had DOMS, you know what DOMS is. Fun. Similar research using MRI and blood tests to gauge inflammation has displayed a clear reduction in inflammatory markers after subjects have been grounded, including noticeable changes in inflammatory white blood cell counts. All of this supports the theory that the anti-inflammatory effects of grounding the body allows negatively charged antioxidant electrons from the earth to enter the body and neutralize positively charged free radicals at sites of inflammation. Pretty cool. What about its effect on our own electrical circuit, the nervous system? Research has indicated that the practice of grounding oneself stimulates the activation of the parasympathetic rest or digest nervous system and deactivates the fight or flight sympathetic nervous system, promoting the start of the metabolic healing process. And additional research demonstrates that grounding can actually help us hedge our health bets in this electrically abundant world, with non-stop EMF emissions from common devices like cell phones and Wi-Fi routers blasting everywhere we go, and potentially adding to our internal electrical imbalance. Grounding oneself has been shown to substantially reduce ambient voltage induced on the body from these common electrical power sources. One study showing that when the body was grounded, its electrical potential becomes equalized with the Earth's electrical potential from that transfer of electrons from the Earth to your body. You a believer yet? While you're deciding, here's how you could start getting grounded today. How to ground. It's pretty simple. Like I said in the intro, take off your shoes and touch Mother Earth. The best and most efficient way to ground yourself is by getting some direct one-on-one contact with the ground. Take off your shoes, go outside, sit down, go to the beach, walk outside after a chilling thunderstorm, which are prime grounding times when the Earth's free electrons are even more abundant. Any chance you get, try and get connected. 30 to 40 minutes a day has shown to be effective here. But as you can imagine, the more the better. I personally opt for minimalist barefoot shoes and sandals that are equipped with thin special soles that allow the grounding phenomena to take effect. My current go-to brands are Earth Runners and Merrell. You can also step up your grounding game with a special grounding mat or sleep pad for the office or bed. They even have pillowcases and blankets. I mean, if you can find a way to effectively ground yourself during sleep, you've just added almost 8 hours of grounding to your 24-hour day, which is amazing. I personally just ordered my grounding sleep pad, which straps onto your bed and essentially grounds your sleeping space. And you know there will be a follow-up video with a full sleep data comparison between both pre and post grounded sleep. Very excited about that. Another little negative ion booster in the home is a salt lamp. I personally have a few Himalayan salt lamps throughout my living space that, like I said, provide a little negative ion boost as well as a warm, less circadian disrupting light at night. Listen, the awesome thing about all this is the fact that, for the most part, you are playing with biological house money. This is an intervention, a habit, a longevity strategy that you can implement for free with essentially no downside, just upside, and it doesn't cost a dime, only time. As always, let me know what comments, questions, any random thoughts you have down in the comments below. Stay tuned for the follow-up video on the experiment, which I will link in the description once it's ready. Who knows, it could be, ready now. Go check the description just in case. And remember, it's okay to keep that head in the clouds, as long as your feet, your bare feet, are on the ground. Stay grounded, my friends. Was it just me, or was I just giving off immaculate Dos Equis guy vibes? Huh? Instead of Dos Equis, like a shoe? What do you think, production team? You know what, we're gonna cut that.